The Rolex Explorer is the brand's most under-the-radar sports watch. But like all things Rolex, the model isn't anything we haven't really seen before though. Since 1953, arguably two of the biggest visual evolutions the watch has seen includes the numeral font changes and a size increase in 2010 to 39mm. But now, 11 years on, we must say goodbye to the 39 Explorer, as the 36mm is back. As you might expect, this new 36 Explorer, reference 124270, feels extremely familiar to previous 36 examples. In fact, when we went to shoot this watch, we actually brought a 14270 with us, so we could directly compare the two watches. In the grand scheme of watch design and watchmaking, there are virtually no visual differences between these two watches. Even so, here are the most important differences we believe you should know. To start with, the hour markers are larger. Although these watches both share the same case width, the new 124270 has slightly larger hour markers. This isn't just exclusive to the recognisable 3, 6 and 9, as a 12 o'clock arrow and all of the other markers have also put on a little weight. The impact of this change is an increase to the perceived boldness of the watch. The dial jumps off the wrist a lot more than previously, and in person, that dial aperture feels just a little bit wider than the 14270. Next, the bracelet. Here we find one of the biggest, most noticeable differences with the Explorer. The once old, rattly and subpar bracelet has now received the full modern-day Rolex treatment. This includes a fully solid construction, but also a new surprise, a generous taper. Now I know a tapering bracelet can split watch collectors, but on the Explorer, its hefty 5mm taper, that's 19mm at the lugs, down to 14mm at the buckle, is sure to remove any possibility of fence sitting. You're either going to love the heavy taper, or just hate it. For the record, I think it's just what the Explorer needs. It pulls the attention towards the watch itself extremely subtly, while directly contributing to the watch's comfort. I like to think of it as a little nod to the early sports watches from Rolex as well, which also had aggressive tapers. The buckle is next, and much like the bracelet, it's received a 21st century update. This is the first 36mm Explorer to be fitted with the Rolex Easy Link adjustment system, which allows the wearer to extend the bracelet just a few millimeters on the fly. It's a feature that is unbelievably useful for the warmer months, and is a complete night and day difference to the micro adjustments that require a tool found on the older Rolex models. The buckle is also much longer than the 14270, and in general is just better aligned to the rest of the modern lineup. The largest, most tangible change on the 124270 is one you can't actually see, but its impact is unmissable. The beating heart of this new watch is the Rolex in-house caliber 3230. It's equipped with 70 hours of power reserve, COSC certification with an accuracy reading of +2 seconds a day. You also find further anti-magnetic properties, and of course 28,800 vibrations per hour. And finally, this watch has a big heft factor. Maybe this is cheating a little, as in reality the reason the modern Explorer feels a lot more solid and dependable is down to changes already mentioned. Either way, there is no doubt the 124270 feels far more substantial and dependable on the wrist. In fact, switching between the two Explorers, the older 14270 feels noticeably less refined, clunky and lacking in quality. So why wouldn't you buy this new Explorer? If, and we admit it is a big if, you can get one of the new Explorers at retail, it'd set you back £5,150. Of course that isn't pocket change for a lot of us. But have a quick look on Chrono24 at the Explorer 14270 and you'll notice they're on sale for around £1,000 more than the price tag of this 2021 model. £1,000 more for a watch that is over 20 years old, which on paper is statistically worse in every way. So why shouldn't owners of the previous 36 Explorer 1 be selling up and adding their name to every waiting list to secure that upgrade and £1,000 heavier wallet? Well, in my eyes, I don't see why people aren't doing exactly that. The 124270 is simply brilliant, but there is one reason I could think of as to why people won't be following my advice, and ironically, it's probably the most powerful reason. The same reason we all obsess and spend vast amounts of time and money on these things, the emotional connection. As humans, we build funny, almost unexplainable bonds with these little pieces of metal we wear on our wrist. They're present at big life moments, both the happy and the sad ones. We don't use them for a lot each day, just a quick glance down to the wrist. But those quick glances over the years accumulate and help shape odd bonds to the humble wristwatch. This new generation of Explorer feels bulletproof. It's nothing new from their modern lineup. It's just great to see this modern technology being included in such a classically sized and original model such as the 36 Explorer. But all of this doesn't really matter, as if you have such a strong connection to your 14270, the chances are you probably won't upgrade. If it was me, I'd upgrade tomorrow. But then again, I don't have an old Explorer on the wrist. Talking about such an important watch from a brand such as Rolex isn't an easy thing to do. So rather than this being a traditional review to share how shocked I am with how well Rolex has done here, I guess I'm here to praise Rolex for going against their current focus of supersizing models to bring the world something for the right reasons. I'm sure a 41mm Explorer would have been a hit, much like the 41mm Submariner and the 41mm Oyster Perpetual, but that would have potentially meant the 36mm Explorer wouldn't have returned to the range. And to me, that would have been a huge loss. Out of all of the sports watches to have received an update in recent years, the Explorer 1 is the only one to have reduced in size. Ironically, it's a decision that makes the most subtle Rolex stand out the most. That, and of course the steel and yellow gold two-tone option, but we'll leave that one for another day. We hope you enjoyed our take on the new 36mm Explorer 1. We'd love to know if you'd go for the older generation 14270 or you'd go full modern with this reference. Don't forget to add your thoughts or questions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.